So, it's funny. You have kids, and all my kids now, except one, are in their 20s, and so they go on job interviews. And I've talked to my kids about this. Like, there's certain things. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to helicopter parent, but I'll tell my daughter. Yeah, you probably don't want to bring up vacation time on your first interview. I have a company, 50 employees, growing fast. If you're asking about that in the first 5 minutes, you're probably not built for my company. I like grinders. Sorry. There are things you just don't say in life, even though you think them. You may not want to say them. And this was a moment yesterday. It's not the end of the world, but football's the ultimate team sport. It is the ultimate team sport. Everybody plays hurt. Everybody plays hurt. You grab that rope, and if there's one loose grip on that rope, it can screw up the whole team. One guy not committed. And I heard Puka Nacua yesterday at 23 years old say this, and I didn't love it.
I want to retire at the age of 30. I'm 23 right now. I'm going into year 3, so like
10 years.
It wouldn't even be 10 years. It'd be like maybe 7 or 8. But I'm like AD. I think of Aaron Donald. Like, man, like to go out at the top, I think it would be super cool. Hopefully, like the rest of their career go healthy. But like, man, you have shoulder surgery, you have knee surgery, you have ankle, and be like, yo, like by the time my kids could be 18, I'm like, I could be barely walking if I like if you play the game and like you sustain all the injuries.
Don't love it. When Trevor Lawrence said, "I'm not defined by football," it doesn't speak necessarily for me. And my thought was, well, that says a lot. NFL general managers, here's a little secret. They're not looking for work-life balance. They're not. They don't care. They want you to be Kobe. They want you to be obsessed. They want you to be Brady. They want you to be Lamar Jackson. They don't want work-life balance. And I think it actually puts a light on Puka. What if next year he's got more than a few drops? Is that guy committed? Is he putting in the time? He misses a couple games in a row. Maybe he's just protecting his body over team. You introduce questions you don't need to introduce. And I know most of you young media, you're all pro player. Oh, the humanity of it. Nobody's looking for humanity. They're looking for 18, 19 games, 120 catches, playing hurt. That's what they're looking for. You ever watch the show Survivor? You ever watch that show? Who are the people that unravel first on Survival? They miss their bed. They miss their friends. And you don't root for them. You view them as soft. You root when you watch Survivor for the people that are totally obsessed. They really want to win. They're all in. That's who you want to see win. And again, it's not the end of the world. But you start talking retirement, this has been said for years, and you're already there. You go back and look at Aaron Rodgers, 2023 Green Bay, quoted, "I'm 90% into retirement." He's never been great since. Big Ben started talking retirement, late Pittsburgh. It ended poorly. You can think about it. You can financially plan for it. I wouldn't discuss it. People are not looking for work-life balance. They want their player. I mean, again, the NFL is a team sport. As great as Mahomes is, 2 Super Bowls, doesn't have the right left tackle. Humiliated. You got to play hurt. This is not baseball. There's a game tomorrow. There's not. There's not a game for 6 months. Play hurt. My groin. Yeah, get over it. Everybody's hurts. So it's one of those things. And by the way, Puka's impact on the Rams, I mean, they're very good with him. They're not good without him. But in 2 years, by the way, if you're sitting there on the draft board and you're thinking, you know what? Maybe time to go first-round wide receiver. If anything, it could hurt your leverage. So sometimes you just got to keep things to yourself. And talking about retirement at 23, I don't love it. Aaron started talking about it 4 years ago. And I think Green Bay said, well, that Jordan Love draft pick was pretty smart after all, right? Because if he talked about it publicly in 2023, then you knew he had talked about it privately probably in 2021 or 2022. Because people talk privately about stuff before they go public with stuff. They practice it on their wives or their friends. They see the reaction from their family. So it's not the end of the world, but I don't love it because I talk to general managers all the time, and they're not looking for work-life balance. Nobody's interested in that. They want you to be obsessed. Well, that's not healthy. Well, it's football. It's not that healthy to begin with. You're getting tackled by the strongest men on the planet. It's not that healthy. If again, protein shakes and play through pain. No, plyometrics, play through it. It's not the end of the world. But I don't love when Trevor Lawrence says, I'm not defined by football. Actually, that comment sort of defined you. You're not obsessed by it. I know the young media stallions never comfortable with this topic.
Sorry, Colin, not your best work there. Not a huge fan of that take. I think you're going to catch some heat from the staff online. You know, the creatines online that are savages.
Yeah.
Like, if you could retire at 30 as a millionaire and not take hits to the head deep into your 30s, don't you do that?
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. And what did I say to start the rant? Keep it to yourself. Don't advertise it. Don't tell everybody in the room, your GM, your teammates, guys, I'm putting away a lot of money. I am out of here. Just don't tell when you're interviewing for a job, what's my vacation time? You can want 6 weeks. You'll probably get 3 or 4. Don't advertise it. Don't talk about it. You don't have to put every meal on Twitter. You know, you don't have to put everything on Twitter.
So do you want him to lie in these media interviews?
Absolutely. You think I tell before I negotiate with Fox everything I'm thinking? You think they're telling me everything they're thinking?
Probably.
My age starts with a 6. You think they're telling me everything? You can keep secrets. That doesn't mean it's all sinister. You don't tell everybody everything. It's not. I mean, listen, here's how you keep your job in the NFL. Winning. And by the way, as a general manager, they all tell me this. They're already looking 3 drafts down the road. You think the Rams are just worried about this draft? They're looking at next year's quarterback draft because Stafford.
Interesting.
But by the way, the Rams know the best freshman quarterbacks in college football. They are 3 years. I remember one time I ran into the ex-president of ESPN, George Bodenheimer, in the parking lot years ago. I think I've told this story before. And George, I was talking about some plans I had, and George said, oh, I've got a 5- and a 10-year plan. I said, how can you have a 10-year plan? He goes, I know every right available over the next decade. Do you think these networks are just making it up? Do you think they're advertising it? No.
Okay.
Before companies let go of 300 people, it often catches people by surprise. Why? You don't think they knew about it 6 months out? Of course they did. I can remember being told a secret a decade ago by somebody in management. He said, you can never tell anybody this. And it was it's a term now that's used a lot, that's overused. But this manager said at the other place, he goes, we were having a beer. And I was, we were having a beer. He's one of my friends. He said, just don't mention this word ever. Like, don't mention it. And I said, why? He goes, because it's all we talk about in our senior advisor meetings. Keep it to yourself.
At the same time, don't you think it helps the teams prepare for, Andrew Luck caught them flat-footed. The Colts were not ready. Yeah. They've been in a total spiral since he left. Aaron Donald, they had some time to prepare, and guess what? They were able to load up on defense.
So adorable, idealistic. Do you think the teams tell you their plans in advance?
They should, to the superstars.
Oh, they should. Yeah.
Oh. You don't think Fox runs to Cowherd? Hey, Cowherd, what do you think about this?
When did you become 23? I forgot. This idealistic. Shouldn't players tell the teams what they're going to do 3 years out?
I mean, not all players, but a handful of stars on the team, the core, right? I would have, if Joe Burrow says, hey, I'm out of here at 35, you guys better get your act together.
By the way, I'll give you an example.
That would be helpful.
I'll give you an example of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Lou Alcindor at the time was in Milwaukee. He did the team a solid. This is very rare. He told the Bucks owner, I want out.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
He didn't make it public. He did the Bucks a total solid. So in that instance, when you know you're gone and you don't want to screw, by the way, he also kept it private because Kareem's very smart. He knew if he let it out, the Lakers would have less leverage. So Carmelo Anthony, one time, to your point, was totally honest. So J-Mac's point is you have to be honest.
No,
Carmelo Anthony goes out and says, hey, I'm out of here, Denver. He got screwed because everybody knew Denver's like, we're not going to give the Knicks anything. So he ended up being a $10 million chandelier in an empty mansion. Keep it to yourself. That doesn't mean I'm anti-boss, But they're not telling me everything. I'm not telling you everything. Puka, if you want to retire, I got no problem with it.
This is a new side of Cowherd, folks. I got to be honest. I got to button it up when I'm around you now.
You better.
I don't know if I can trust you with this family secret.
Trust. Honey, how do I look in this dress? Great. Honey, what about my new haircut? You are amazing. That's the answer. Always.
Wisdom. I like it.
Live in LA, it's The Herd.